And here we are. Hey, folks, this is Jeff with This Super JTT. I apologize for being late. I try to wait for a guest to appear on this live stream. Fortunately, couldn't get a hold of him. I waited as long as I could, but for the reason I can't get a hold of him. So what I'm gonna do today is talk about a movie that I seen a few years back in 2008 with Jennifer Gardner. You're familiar with her? She did the TV show on ABC, Alias. She's very well renowned for that. She did quite a few other movies. I think 13 Again was one of the movies. She did Elektra. I'm like, this is one of the few Marvel movies I don't think she should have done along with Ben Affleck doing Daredevil. I was glad that he that that he rebranded himself and he did great doing Batman. He was horrible at Daredevil, but he did good with Batman. I was deep impressed. The Batman he portrayed was outstanding. I was impressed. It was really good. But going back to Jennifer Garner, we're going to talk about one movie in particular that I seen a few years back, and I still can't help but be impressed. And it comes with a question, folks. It comes with a question. I doubt they're going to make it part of the Marvel MCU. I kind of wish it does. It'd be kind of cool. It'd be very cool. I doubt it, but it'd be cool. So here's a question I have for you folks. What if the Punisher was female? This is where Peppermint comes in. Now, what I'm talking about? Well, we're going to talk about the film Peppermint from 19. Yeah, keep in mind 19. The 1900s is long gone. We're in like the 2000s now. I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm the generation, one of a few generations who survived from the last century, millennium. Wild, so wild. But if you allow me, I'm gonna show you what you call it, like a couple of trailers from Peppermint, so you see what I'm talking about. Starting with the first one.
Has love in her heart, and snow in her eyes, and peppermint in her blood.
Happy birthday, kiddo. Mrs. Norris? I'm very sorry for your loss.
We have 3 suspects in custody, but they're all linked to the Garcia cartel.
No witnesses have been willing to step up.
These cartels are no joke. They've got everyone in their pockets.
You've been through a terrible tragedy. Maybe you didn't see what you think you saw.
Jensen,
Maybe you made a mistake.
Number 3, number 5, number 4. They did it.
Is it possible that your recollection isn't what you thought it was?
The evidence is insufficient to hold the defendants over for trial.
Hold on a sec. Yeah, that was something. That was from the trailer for the movie Peppermint. Okay, so spoilers ahead, folks. I haven't seen it yet. If I'm correct, you can still see that on Netflix. I strongly recommend you see it. It's a good movie. But this is what it talks about. This talks about a woman by the name of Riley North. She's a wife and a mother who used to work in a bank. But this woman, unfortunately, is a victim of a very horrific crime. Like, I don't know, basically, there was gangland violence and it involves almost killing her, but unfortunately killing her husband and her young daughters. Does that sound familiar? Look at the Punisher. Same exact thing. Him and his family almost got he almost got taken out. His family, I think his sons and wife, they were taken out by some gangland violence. Now here's the difference between like Riley North and Frank Castle, the Punisher. Frank Castle, at least the newest one, I think, from John Berthal, he was like a soldier. He was a special ops soldier. He was a killing machine already. He was trained to be the most dangerous killing machine there is. So when that happened with his family, his family got wiped out. That was it. He's taking everybody out in the criminal world. It's done. Now, Riley North, keep in mind, this woman, all she wanted was justice. She tried to do it the legal way, She was like Frank Castle, so like, you know what? I'm going to do it my way. She tried to do it illegal. She'd go to the court. She identified the killers. She knew who killed her family. She almost got killed, and somebody tried to bribe her earlier. Unbelievable. But here's the problem, though. Judge is corrupt. I think the attorneys who represent us corrupt. Basically, there was corruption all around, and this woman was not going to get justice whatsoever. And the last thing you see her, she was running and disappeared to the night. Now, mind you, here's one more twist in case you don't know. Like I say, spoilers yet again. This happened on her daughter's birthday. That is horrible. Her daughter's birthday, and she got killed. So 5 years later, if I'm correct, 3 of the bodies of the thugs who were responsible for our family's death have been found strung up, I think, on a Ferris wheel. They think, like, how can a little suburban mom do all that? Okay, they would footage of her breaking in, stealing some weapons. She stole money from the bank. She went off the United States learning how to fight. She was in a cage match fighting. So basically, this woman is learning how to fight, but most importantly, she's learning how to kill. So when I say this woman went punch mode, she wasn't kidding. And she got access to the internet, meaning that whatever information found by this corrupt organization responsible for our family's death, she's not just going to kill the thugs. She's going straight to the head of the serpent of corruption himself. Make a long story short, it was like a very long, violent fight from start to finish. I personally believe that that Peppermint is a great movie. You know, it's fantastic. It's like, if you wonder was like if the puncher was female, Jennifer Garner got you. I mean, she's great. I mean, like, I'm not surprised. She more of a man than try to be Electra. But when she played the part of Riley North, she tried to be, it's kind of strange. She went to transition from this, like this, you know, from the typical suburban housewife and mom to this killing machine. It's like night and day. It's so wild and all that. My only hope is like, all I'm asking for, please make a sequel. I'm serious. I'm waiting for a sequel. I mean, it's that good. I'm sorry. Now, you're probably like, how do you make a sequel? You'd be surprised. Now, how you gonna make a sequel? Maybe she goes underground, you know, hides her face, you know, and cops who know how dirty and corrupt they're creasing, it's like, you know what? They're dirty, but I'm gonna let her slide. I'm just going to ignore her. That'd be kind of wild, though. And the way they kind of did with Punisher, so I'm not too surprised. What else have been seeing lately? Oh yeah, X-Men 97. Like, I was hoping for catching with a friend of mine. We could talk about that. He's not there at the moment, so I'm gonna talk about it myself. X-Men 97. Unfortunately, I broke down some notes so I can recap what I'm talking about here when I saw this. Oh yeah, X-Men 97. If you haven't seen it yet, I strongly recommend you see that. If you got, like I said, this is one of the few things Disney has gotten right lately. So check out Disney Plus. Look up X-Men 97. You won't be disappointed. Anybody who's like a Generation X like me, who remember seeing X-Men back in like in the mid-late 90s, yeah. This one here is different. This one has more like adult themes. This is more a little bit more guttural and all that. It's more adult theme, more violent. So let me start with this here with X-Men 97 episode 1. And before I say anything else, folks, spoiler warnings up ahead. Spoiler warnings. For starters, it shows here that X-Men is the leader of the X-Men, which leads me to believe, like, what happened to Charles Xavier? Something happened to him. I believe he got taken out. And sure as anything, I was right. And this is what it says here, if I'm reading correctly, though. It says, like, Charles Xavier was assassinated by FOH. Now, in case any of your X-Men fans have forgotten, FOH stands for Friends of Humanity. The best way to describe Friends of Humanity is like, it's a hate group for mutants, called like KKK against mutants. Yeah. How scary is that? You think you got enough hate groups as it is, you got one against mutants? That's scary right there. This one got cited by now supposedly they say this person was NSA, but the person's name is Henry Gyrick. They say it's NSA. I believe he's a member of the Friends of Humanity himself. And he took Charles Xavier. But here's one thing that he supposedly shot Charles Xavier. Here's one thing that puzzles me, and I want you folks to think about this too. Now, Charles Xavier is a very powerful psionic mutant, very powerful mutant mind. In fact, I tried to find out like what was powerful. I tried to find out how powerful is Charles Xavier in terms of his mind. It's not like he didn't see it coming. I mean, he uses the cerebral to attract people around the world, other mutants as well as humans. But my question is like, how powerful was it? You cannot tell me he cannot sense the evil intent in this man's mind, which brings me to my own theory. But let me see how powerful Charles Xavier is. Because the fact that one human being could sneak up on him and take a shot at him, that's not right. I tried to ask him that a few moments though, but well, I will tell you anyway though. Like I said, the irony, because of Charles Xavier's death, the mutants people seem to have more sympathy toward the mutants. And as in return, people became more tolerant mutants. X-Men looked upon them as heroes, nothing else, and respected. They worked with the U.S. government instead of being hunted by them. How crazy is that? Hold on, Charles Xavier. Yes. Okay, this one says here, according to one of his Quora and Compact Resources, he is the most powerful mental talent on our planet, which is truth. There's no lie to it. He is what the most powerful mutant in the world in terms of mental powers. Let me get more detail about Charles Xavier, though. There's no way he, like I said, there's only two ways Charles Xavier could be assassinated. There's only two ways that I could see how he could be assassinated. And that's not what I wanted. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Yep. Based on I'm correct, though, if I read correctly, Charles Xavier, early films show that Xavier had the power to stop people in their tracks as if time had stopped without killing them. So you cannot tell me that this man, the most powerful mutant mind in the world, oh, shoot, my friend Juan. What's up, Juan? Glad to have you on board. The most powerful mutant mind cannot stop this man. So there's only two ways Charles Xavier could be taken out. Number one, now keep in mind, if I'm correct, Henry Garrett got all sorts of Sentinel type. The Sentinels are specially made robots to hunt down and capture mutants. He must have got some type of tech to be able to dampen Charles Xavier's ability to read his mind. So basically, to find a way to dampen Charles's powers. In other words, make it so Charles can't read his mind. If he can't read his mind, you don't know what he's going to do. So that makes it Charles Xavier easy to target. But I got a theory, and folks, ask me if I'm right or wrong. What if Charles Xavier knew this man's intent and said, like, you know what? I'm going to let this man kill me. Maybe through my death, maybe it will stop, at least bridge more between us mutants and humans. Maybe if I let myself get taken, as bad as it may look, and it may cause a lot of suffering and pain, maybe, just maybe, we get a little bit more closer to humans and mutants coexisting. It may make a difference. Charles took a huge gamble. That's a theory, mind you. I'm not saying that's what Charles did, but it's one of those things you can't think about. And the irony is when Charles Xavier got killed, all of a sudden now, we was not hunting down anymore. All of a sudden now, people have strong sympathy towards mutants and they start liking mutants. Let me go over here. Yeah, supposedly, this was says he had that's what I said before. He had definite advice, so he can't read his mind. Or Charles, decided to let himself get killed. Or hopefully, his sacrifice would promote the coexistence of human and mutants together. And that's a very strong possibility. I want you to keep that in mind, folks. Juan, what you said again? I can't read that small print. By the way, that's one of my best friends, Juan De La Torre. What's up, my dog? Okay, Jean and Scott. Jean Grey, who was Marvel Girl, and Scott, which is Cyclops, they're gonna be parents, which is pretty cool. And what else? And if I'm correct, they got information on what the Friends of Humanity is gonna do next. And if I'm correct, they were interrogating Henry Garrett, to find like, okay, what do you have in mind? What are you gonna do next? Which I found out like one of the deadliest weapons is Master Mode. Master Mode creates the Sentinels. The name is exactly what it is. Master Mode creates the Sentinels to cause life to be miserable for mutants. Now, once upon a time, you know, when they went for the Sentinel program, the government was right with them. But now it's like, you know what? Let's give these mutants a break, basically. Through Charles Xavier's sacrifice, you know, life is a little bit better for mutants, which is ironic. And end result, like I said, I'll say it again, spoiler, folks, spoilers. The X-Men period went and took care of business in terms of Master Mode. Now, going forward, though, after the end of the mission, someone's in Charles Xavier's quarters. It was the master of magnetism himself, Magneto. And Magneto now declared himself the leader of the X-Men, which I find kind of weird because earlier, like during the show, Scott was showing some serious moves as an X-Men, but it's like in terms of eye blasting, he was showing the moves I didn't see from the last few times I saw the X-Men. I was impressed. I was deeply impressed. That was, and he pretty much like really stepped up his game, not just as an X-Men, but also as a leader. Because he was like, Charles Xavier was like a second in command. But now Magneto jumped in, got in charge. He's in charge now of the X-Men, much to Scott's, you know, dismay. Because keep in mind, Charles Xavier and Magneto, they at one point they were besties, but became vicious of foes. Magneto had the Brotherhood of Mutants at one time, fiercely opposed against the X-Men. But now he's going to be leader of the X-Men. But here's a twist here, though. It was in Charles Xavier's last will and testament that Magneto leads the X-Men, much to the dismay of the other X-Men. I was like, wow, that's crazy. Does that go on? And the funny thing is, like, Magneto, despite his past and his feeling towards humans, he vowed to honor Charles Xavier's will and dream. So he wanted to try to continue the dream of Charles Xavier. That's incredible. And that's a hard thing to do. This guy lived with a lot of hatred and a lot of distrust of humans, which is understandable. If I remember correctly from one of the X-Men movies, Magneto as a young boy, he was like a victim of Nazi hatred and almost got wiped out himself. But he saw his people got turned to ash, and the same people who was victimized of the hateful people joined the same people to hunt down mutants because he was one himself. How crazy is that? And now going like episode 2, you got Magneto. He's saved some lives that shocked people, and he even saved Morlocks from the Friends of Humanity. And the weird thing is, once upon a time, Magneto had the ability to pretty much turn the Friends of Humanity into hamburger meat, but he just spared them. He's left them for the authorities to take after them, which is incredible. While in the X-Men Mansion, now mind just like going to episode 2, while in the X-Men Mansion, some authorities came down in helicopters, and their thing was to come and take down, well, not take down, but taking Magneto for accusations against crime against humanity. Now, they said they had weapons that Magneto can't do anything against, but they forgot their their helicopters are made of metal. Yeah, say more. And Magneto could use the helicopter to take him out, but I feel like, you know what? He's staying on trial to prove his, well, not prove his innocence, but prove something, you know. Like I said, he stood on trial in the UN in front of the World Court, while the Friends of Humanity tried to try to take him out, plain and simple. Try to break and assassinate him. Now, I want to go further on what happened and all that, but I think I want to let you see like 1 or 2, see for yourself, because there's some twists and turns that make it go like, what? Wait a minute. Trust me, you can ask what's going on with Rogue and Magneto. That's all I'm gonna say. When you see it, you'll be asking the same question too. I'm still asking questions. And there's another redheaded woman involved too. Yes, that's at part 2. In short, in terms of the X-Men, that's gonna be a trip. I mean, like, and so far the first 2 episodes if the first 2 episodes tell me the direction I think it's going to go, it's going to be awesome. And much as I love the X-Men back then in the 90s, this one is going to take it by leaps and bounds. In my opinion, it's better. I didn't see the ones from the late 90s is bad. I loved it. This one's like a great improvement. So I have 0 complaints no matter what. I'm going to brush up briefly on Deadpool real quick. And they're going to be like variants of other Deadpools. And one of them is a female one. And I'd love to be surprised, but I'm not. They got a variant of Wolverine, so why not a variant of Deadpools? They really got like Deadpool or Deadpool dog, something like that. You see in some of the YouTube videos and all that stuff. But long story short, though, between like Deadpool and the X-Men 97, that's great. Peppermint, you can still catch that on Netflix. Like I said, I only wish they could make that somehow to the Marvel MCU. Peppermint, that'd be awesome. Do I see it happening? No. Now, as for the Punisher, he's going to be brought back somehow on Daredevil Born Again. Now, I'm not going to touch about Daredevil because like I've yet to touch up on Echo. I finally managed to find a way how I can't get to Echo. I think it's the TV rating thing, and I didn't said it correctly though. That's why I couldn't get to it. I thought it was cracking up, so I'll go look at this one. But if I can next week, if I'm not too tied up and not late, and I apologize, folks. I apologize for being an hour late. I'm supposed to be ready between 8 and 9. It's going on close to 10, so I apologize for being late. I'm gonna talk about the new Crow movie, but here's the problem though. It will not and cannot compete against the one that the late great Brandon Lee has made. And I'm going to talk about the one with Brandon. Before I talk about the one with Brandon Lee, I'm going to try to catch at least one of a movie that they did called Rapid Fire. I'm going to try to catch that, sometime tonight. And Rapid Fire, I heard was pretty good. But The Crow, and I'm not going to lie to you, this is like, I believe in the early to mid 90s. I think I was with my first ex-girlfriend, like way back then. And we both were like huge Bruce Lee fans, and we saw what Brandon Lee was doing. It's like, okay, that's cool. We found out when he got killed and said doing the movie The Crow, we were both shocked. And then when we saw the movie itself, we were upset. We were so sad. Like, the movie was great, but as we walked from the movie theater, it was so this great dedication from Brandon Lee. Me and her was so sad. This man did literally sacrifice his life to make this movie. Now, do I think this is going to do better than Brandon Lee? No. Like I said, I had nothing against the person trying to make the movie, but there's some movies you should not be making remakes. There's some movies you can make remakes, and there's some you should not be making remakes. Like, for example, like Forrest Gump. I'm glad they don't try to make a remake for Forrest Gump. It's a once-in-a-lifetime movie you should leave alone. It's an American treasure. Leave it alone. Don't try to remake it. Leave it alone. Other movies you can get away of remaking again and again and again. I saw so many reboots of other movies. It's nauseating. Some movies you can get away with making reboots. And okay, some is better than the others. Some is much worse. The one with The Crow, I personally say they should have stopped it. They made other sequels, but they tried to reboot it once again, like a la Eric Draven. No, and no. Okay, I guess that does with this night there, folks. I want to thank anybody who was there. I don't know who's watching, but I want to thank you very much for watching me right now. Like I said, I don't know what happened to my friend who was supposed to be on here to talk about X-Men 97 and Peppermint, but maybe I'll catch me in later. And if possible, I might have another guest. Hopefully this person will be on time though. I'll try to get more other people there. I'll talk to a few other people to get on my live stream, and hopefully things will get better from there. So other than that, folks, I would say thanks for watching. Tell a friend. I'll see you soon. And we're going to end the stream in about 5,